Hello and greetings, this is Councillor Kyron James. I've decided to take this time at the beginning of every week to more or less have a conversation with you, my friends and followers on Facebook, as to some of the things that have been happening, some of the plans that I will have as councillor for your area, and just generally give you an idea of what I'm thinking about and some of the things that are running through my mind. I know previously you were all looking out for me to host my show on MCTV. Now mind you, it will return, but things have been a little hectic and I'm still trying to get things sorted out and settled down in a way where I can do the show a little more consistently. But until then, I've decided to sit down and have a conversation with you, as I mentioned at the beginning, basically at the beginning of every week. This week I want to deal with at least 3 things in particular. Chikungunya, because I know that is something on everybody's mind right now. Delinquent parents. I've actually noticed some things that are not really settling too well with me, and I think it's time that I say something about it. And also I want to remind you or let you know about beach cleanup that the EMA will be hosting on the 20th of September, that's this month. Firstly, I want to tackle some of the issues that you may have pertaining to chikungunya. Now I know everyone is really worried and really concerned about this epidemic. As councillor for the Mayaro Guayaguayare area, and also by extension the Mayaro Regional Corporation, we are taking this very seriously. There are certain parts of Trinidad right now who are basically, they're prisoners in their own home because of this outbreak. And I use that term outbreak a little loosely. And I think it's a collaborative effort between the people who actually have the authority to do something about it, and also we have to basically come together and help ourselves. I know that I've been met by a number of people talking about people's property that are overgrown with bushes, abandoned houses and other properties, and they wanted to know what the corporation is going to be doing about that. As the chairman of the Open Spaces Committee and also a member of the council, I know that this is something really important that we are not taking lightly. People have been asking, why don't we just go ahead and clear down these areas where you have bushes and presumably containers within the bushes that will be harboring these mosquitoes. But it's a little more challenging than just going ahead and cutting the grass or clearing it down, because ideally we are supposed to be able to go in there, cut down the grass, clear the land, and then send the bill for the owner of the land or the owner of the property. But we have so many delinquent property owners, and they tend to not want to identify themselves. Yes, there are ways for us to identify them. We will be doing that. However, it's a little lengthy and time consuming, but we are not going to cease, and I am personally not going to sit by the wayside and let these landowners have their properties. It's overgrown with bushes. It's a nesting ground for mosquitoes, and probably not even mosquitoes, but you have other dangerous and nefarious acts that could be taking place on these properties. You also have some of these buildings that are not being used, and they're just empty, and nobody seems to really want to do something about it. So the council, as well as your councillor, we are going to be doing something about that. As soon as I get more information pertaining to the actual plan of attack, bet your bottom dollar I'm going to come and I'm going to let you guys know about it for sure, right? So it is concerning. I know it's worrying, but we are on the ball pertaining to the actual control and the prevention of chikungunya. When I started talking about this, I mentioned that it has a lot to do with us also as residents. You need to make sure that your property is clean. You need to make sure that there are no containers within your area that are left open that can catch water, which we all know is a breeding ground for these mosquitoes. So you do your part, clean your area. If you know there's a neighbor, if you know your neighbor isn't doing what he or she needs to do, to try talking to your neighbor. And if that isn't happening, well then contact your councillor, contact the corporation. We have ways of making sure that these things are done without people thinking that it's a personal attack. But we really need to be mindful that we can't do this by our own. We all need to be part of the fix for this problem, and I really hope that we could work together to try to eliminate this problem of chikungunya within the Mayaro Guayaguayare area. Secondly, I want to talk a little bit about delinquent parents. Now, I have a very, very soft spot in my heart for children, and I say this because, I mean, children are children, and they depend on adults. They depend on us to really look out for them and be their voices. So on Friday, I was at a bar in Mayaro. Obviously, I'm not going to call the name of the bar. But I was at a bar in Mayaro, and I noticed that there were some people. At that point in time, I didn't realize that these people were parents. But they were outside the bar, they were drinking, and they were having a good time and whatnot. And I guess it's Friday evening, so everybody would want to wind down and relax. But while I was looking at them, aka Makoin, I guess if you want to call it that, I realized that there was a child couldn't be more than 5 years old, sitting on the father's lap while the father was drinking a beer outside of the bar. Now, brothers and sisters, this is unacceptable. And I blame myself partially because I should have been able to say something. And I should have said something, but I didn't. But I can promise you that it is because of us turning a blind eye, or it is because of us not thinking that we could do something about a problem, that these things continue to happen. So I can promise you that the next time, and I'm telling you parents out there who like to take your children to bars and whatnot, the next time I see that, I am going to take the relevant actions towards it, whether it be having a conversation or even escalating it up the chain. Because we cannot have children with us while we're at bars. That is a no-no. That is a definite no-no. There's no rationale for that happening. Don't tell me that you had nobody to take care of the children, so you had to bring them along. If that is the case, don't lie. Because you are responsible for your children. You are responsible for what your children experience. And if something would have happened, God forbid, you would have to take responsibility for that. And by extension, I would have to, because I saw it and I didn't say anything. But that's not going to happen anymore. So parents out there, eyes are on you. People are going to be looking out for this, and probably by me doing this and by me viewing or giving my views on this, you would realize how passionate I am and how passionate you should be about preventing children from being negatively impacted by alcohol and by some of the loose behavior that may happen around these establishments. It's just not cool, right? And finally, I would like to invite each and every one of you out there who's looking at this cast right now to the EMA's annual beach cleanup on the 20th of September. Let me just run through my notes here to make sure I have the correct information. Yes, it's the National Planning Committee, NPC, of Trinidad and Tobago is once again preparing for the annual International Coastal Cleanup, right, which will take place in Trinidad on Saturday, the 20th of September. We all know how important it is to keep our beaches clean, especially Mayaro, because, I mean, we always understate or undervalue this natural resource we have, this beach, this constant attraction for tourism. And I'd like to say kudos to the EMA for really taking the responsibility and making sure that this happens every year, right? This year they are going to be targeting the area, beach between Eccles Road and Maloney Road. That's in Grand Lagoon. For the people who live in Mayaro, you would know. And even if you don't live in Mayaro and you're looking at this cast and you want to come down on Saturday to be a part of this, you are more than welcome. The more help, the merrier. I mean, at the end of the day, this is an activity where the EMA captures all of the garbage, the plastics, the bottles, the paper. They section it off and they weigh it, and it's all tabulated, and it's used to more or less measure how much waste is on the beach. They more or less have a comparison between the different years, because I know they would have been doing it before. So they would compare how much garbage has been or is on the beach right now, and more or less draw reference to previous beach cleanups. So I really, really want you guys to come out. I especially want to invite some of the groups within the Mayaro area that are so always willing to contribute to a good cause. To the Mayaro Leo Club, Illusion Sports Club, the Caution Crew, as well as members from the Mayaro Government Primary School, and not forgetting the Street Vibes Crew. We all know that some of these groups that I've called here are always willing to give back to the community, and there is nothing better than keeping our beaches clean, maintaining the pristine look of our beaches. It has a great environmental impact when litter is left on our beaches. So the mere fact that we are going to take some time to do this is going to be awesome. I really look out I would love for anyone who is really interested in being part of this, they can contact me at my number 789-3638, or you can call my office at 3915. I just got a new number, that's why I kind of fumbled with it. 391-6541. Ask for Brittany, the best assistant in the world, and she's going to be more than happy to take information so that we can really synchronize our efforts and come out on the 20th of September to make something happen and to really and truly make an impact on our beaches. Right? So, not saying too much this time, I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to listen to me. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, you can reply to this video. Send me a message on Facebook, you can call me, WhatsApp. Let's keep the conversation lines open, because the job of a councillor is more or less to represent the people of the community. But representation would be better if you guys play a part of that. So let me know what are some of the things that you need. Let me know some of the things that you want. Even let me know some of the things that I'm not doing correctly. And I will try as hard as possible to cooperate with you guys so that we will all have a better community of Mayaro Guayaguayare. Alright? My office days are Wednesdays from 5 to 7. Every Wednesday, 5 to 7. No appointments are necessary. Just come and let's try to make this place a better one. Alright, so thank you very much. Have a wonderful week. Go out there, be a contributive factor to making the Mayaro Guayaguayare, and by extension Trinidad and Tobago, a better place.